Hey guys, it's a weightlifting therapist. I want to do another Therapy Minutes video for you. And today we're going to be talking about should statements and how this cognitive distortion really plays into contributing to further panic and further anxiety, and really fuels the flame for anxiety disorders. So what is a should statement? If you've been in therapy or you've been in therapy groups, you probably have already gone over this, thinking errors or cognitive distortions. But a should statement is essentially just telling yourself you should do something. And so I'll explain how this really connects to anxiety, but if you sit and think to yourself, when was the last time, or is there something bugging you that you need to do, or is there something you're afraid of? And your self-talk about that is centered around, oh, I should get to doing that, oh, I should, I should get in shape, I should be in shape, or I should be past this by now. I ought to get around to fixing my house, or I ought to get to doing the dishes. Or I should be doing my homework right now instead of relaxing. And this, when you play that out, when you continue this negative, you're kind of the self-defeating talk to yourself, it reinforces this notion that you're not doing what you should be doing, and it leads to further anxiety. And eventually it kind of leads to avoidance disorder, of complete avoidance of what you maybe need to be working on. If it's your health, your schoolwork, the dishes, taking care of your mental health, and you're not doing those things, it further perpetuates this cycle of anxiety and stress because you're avoiding it, it's making it worse. That's a new trigger, and it's just going on this constant cycle of avoidance, should statements, increased anxiety, increased panic. So what are the alternatives to should statements? I think it's really simple, but it's just, the answer is easy, but the application is difficult. So instead of saying you should, or you must, or you need to, tell yourself, dispute that. When you find yourself in that train of thinking, replace it with, I'm trying my best, I'm working as hard as I can, I'm not where I want to be, but I'm getting there. It's a process. I know it's a process. Even in my own example, I really want to apply myself to making content and put in, just small, not the most in-depth or in-detail videos. I want to, on YouTube, and I want to be consistent. And when I come home from work, I come home from the gym as well, and I'm with my family, and maybe things aren't the best there, and today was a rough day. The last thing I really want to do is get on and make YouTube videos. And I found myself going through this, and so I brought this video up. I should be making content, I should be doing this, I need to be putting in the effort, putting in the grind, and contributing to what I want to do. And I found myself in the negative, it almost made me want to really not do it, really not kind of go through this. But I took that moment to realize, this is a process, this is how things develop. It's okay to struggle, it's okay to take a day off. If you want to do it, cool. If you don't want to do it, fine. Work at it the next day. So, but doing that in the moment I know is difficult. And it really comes down to, I think it gets easier over time. It's just like, if you started jogging, you're not going to be the best in shape right when you get out, right when you start. But over time you're going to develop the strength, the endurance, the wind to be able to run further distances or run faster. It's the same thing with disputing your negative thoughts. If you think you've had this negative thought going on, this negative thought pattern of telling yourself you should, just think about all the time that you've been doing that, and all the times you have maybe not even noticed you've been doing that. It's going to take a while to change that. It's going to feel uncomfortable disputing it at first, but you'll eventually get into that habit of, okay, that negative thought pattern came into my head, throw a dispute right back at it, and it makes it a lot easier. It lowers that panic, it lowers the anxiety. I think this really comes into play, honestly, the most is when you're trying to go to sleep. And when you put your head down on the pillow and you put your phone down and you put your Netflix and Hulu and whatever else you have and your Facebook to distract you, you put it all down, and all those racing thoughts start coming up. Oh, I should be doing this, I should have done this, I needed to be working on that, why am I not progressing in this area of my life? Replace it with the opposites of those. Replace it with the appropriate healthy thoughts. You're doing the best you can, you're working at it, it's a process, it's okay to struggle. I have tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to be there. I'm going to wake up and I'm going to get right back to work. So anyhow guys, that's just a quick video on should statements and how they kind of play into panic, anxiety, and frustration. So